Hey, I'm hanging out here in Memphis. My buddy Elvis right there. This is the Elvis Show. Welcome to the Elvis Show on the Shock Vinyl channel. Hey guys, how's it going? So we went to Memphis a little bit ago. My wife had to work. I tagged along and played. One evening, it was the week of my birthday, so the idea was she'll work, I'll play, and then in the evening we'll go play together. Well, one evening we're like, man, we want to go hear some live music. We'd been to Beale Street the night before, so we're looking for something different to do. So I go online and I look around, and the Black Jacket Symphony is playing Graceland. They're doing the Eagles, Hotel California, in its entirety. So we go, and I get this drink, and they give it to you in a sippy cup. A drink in a sippy cup. How cool is that? But that's not what today's show is about. Today we're talking Elvis. Got my Sun shirt on. Got some Elvis collectibles behind me. I'm gonna talk about Elvis for a minute. I'm gonna give you my top 10 Elvis albums that I own. Not out of, he's hundreds of records through the years. Releases, re-releases, special editions, this, that. The ones I own. Top 10 of the ones I own. And it's actually gonna be more than 10, but you'll understand that in a minute. Talk a little bit about Elvis before I get started. You got to figure Elvis came on the scene in 1956. So was my grandparents' music, which is really weird to think about. But my grandparents were just a little bit young. Well, no, they were the right age, but they were a little bit older than the teenagers that were going to see Elvis. You figure, if my parents are born in the late 40s, and by the time Elvis comes along, they're not even quite 10 years old yet. So it's not that they don't like the music, but they're not the kids you see on the clips going crazy. Elvis. It's probably not my parents. It's kids that are just 5, maybe 6 years older than them. And it's not my grandparents, because my grandparents are probably 5, 6 years older than them, because they have kids. But it's still, they all still fit in that time frame. I asked my dad one time with my great-grandma, because my great-grandma raised my dad for all intents and purposes when he was younger. And I asked my dad one time, I said, Dad, what did grandma, as we call it, what did grandma think of Elvis? My dad told me a story about how she went and saw Elvis one time up in Michigan. And she gets home and she tells my pet boss, she's like, he put his boots under my bed anytime. It's my grandma. Okay. So my grandma loved Elvis, which is my great-grandma. My nanny, who's my grandma, loved Elvis. My nanny on the other side, my mom's mom, loved Elvis. My grandfather on that side, he was more of a George Jones bluegrass kind of guy, but he wasn't hating on the Elvis. So Elvis was played by my grandparents, which means that my parents played it, which means that we heard it a lot when we were growing up, right? It became intertwined with the fabric of our lives. There's a time Elvis wasn't cool. I remember in school, growing up for me, Elvis was played at the house. It was played. It was played right there with Journey and Boston and Aerosmith and Jay Giles and Led Zeppelin. It was played. And, I'd tell my friends and stuff, and sometimes it's kind of laughed at and picked on. Bullied. They use the word bully today. You know what? It's good to be bullied. It teaches you what to stand up for and what to just not give a shit about, right? So anyway, they'd pick on me, but I didn't care. Elvis was the man, dude. It's like, you watch that 1968 special, and I don't care how cool you are, how many girls you got, you ain't that cool. And I just remember thinking that growing up, and yeah, we get a little, picked on for liking Elvis, but we loved Elvis. And I remember when Elvis died, Mom cried, and she got out the records, and she just played them. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. But Elvis has always been a part of my life, always. He was around before I was born. He was around when my parents were babies and kids, and my grandparents, my great-grandparents, so he's just always been there. And so I thought we'd do a show, especially having just come back from Memphis. You saw the clip there at the beginning. I was hanging out with Elvis, right? My 10 favorite Elvis albums that I've collected over the years, and maybe tell some stories about them. And one more story before I get into the records. My sister, my youngest sister, and I don't know what age she does this to her kids, but there's an age that they hit, a certain birthday, I don't remember exactly, where she makes them sit down and listen to Johnny Cash, Larry Norman, and Elvis Presley. It's like, if I don't teach you anything else in your life, you're going to know who those three are. So the greatest country singer of all time, the greatest Christian rock singer of all time, the greatest rock singer of all time. And the cool part is Elvis did gospel, Cash did gospel, Cash did rock, Elvis did country, and Larry says he didn't do country, but there's a couple that are kind of country. So it's just, again, Elvis always been a part of my life. So hopefully you enjoy my Elvis show. So we're going to start out with the most recent record we bought. And this is not this past trip to Memphis. This is a trip before. Went with Dad. Took Dad to Memphis, and I picked this one up. You hear that playing in the background here, If I Can Dream. What a song, especially 1968. Put yourself in the time, dude. Civil rights movements and riots all over the place, and Kennedy and MLK getting assassinated, and man, if I can dream about us all getting along, and why can't my dreams come true, you know? And look, I don't want to get political, but things got better for a minute. It's just right now they're just trying to make us think it's 1967 and 8 all over again and rip us apart. Because you know what? Together we make those dreams come true. If we're fighting, they make our nightmares come true. Anyway, no more politics. Elvis Presley, If I Could Dream, with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. That's the most recent record that I bought. Okay, coming in at number 10. King Creole, go! So it's King Creole, Elvis Presley is a movie. Seen the movie so many times. I remember, again, you're getting memories with this, so bear with me. But we come home from every year. That's the word I'm looking for. Every year, they would do Elvis Week on the 4 o'clock movie. So there's always this 4 o'clock movie. It's 4 o'clock movie, and it would usually run till 6, and then the news would come on, and then you go to game shows, and you go to prime time. So 4 o'clock, they'd always do a movie, and every year, once, sometimes twice, usually around the time that he passed or his birthday, they would do Elvis Week, and you'd always get to see King Creole. But yeah, King Creole on this record is a great one. Hard-Headed Woman is a great one, and then, of course, If You're Looking for Trouble, boom, 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 boom. It's a great one. Played that one for my grandson one time, and it just made him mad. He thought he was getting in trouble, and he got so angry. Coming in at number 9, look at this. Old McDonald Had a Farm, E-I-E-I-O. Yes, this is the kids record that was put out. Elvis Sings for Children. All these are previously released prior to this record coming out. The date on this record is 1979, and this was my sister's record. It might even have her name on it somewhere still. I don't know. I'm gonna pull it out and see. All right, we're gonna see. No, it's a black RCA label, so I don't see her name on it. But my sisters had this, and they played the crap out of it. You know, and it got some great tracks on it. Teddy Bear, Puppet on a String, Old MacDonald, Big Boots, Have a Happy. So this one, not so much for the music, although the songs are cute. This is for the memories, man. I just remember my sisters playing this one all the time, and just, yeah. It was us three, you know. All right, what was that? 10-9. We're at number 8, and 8 is a 3-way tie because it ain't Christmas till Elvis hits the turntables. It just wasn't. I'm telling you. So usually the story would be Thanksgiving, they're going to one of my grandparents would have dinner. That evening, Dad and my uncle would go to a movie or something. We'd hang out, watch football, whatever. So then the Lions always played. I'm from Detroit. Lions always played on Thanksgiving, way before even like now where they have like 3 and 4 games now. It was always Lions and Cowboys, so we'd watch football. But then the next day, if Dad wasn't working, which sometimes he wasn't, a lot of times he was, but a lot of times he wasn't, we'd get up in the morning, it'd be a day off for Dad, and Mom would be home, and we didn't have school. And, you know, they weren't big Black Friday folks. This record would hit the turntable. Blue. Sorry, just had to do that. And it was officially Christmas time. So this is the one from my youth that my folks played the crap out of. This is the oldest Christmas album from Elvis. This has been in my family for probably 50 years in my family. This one has. And this one was bought at Harmony House, Detroit record chain. So this one's probably been in my family. This is 1971. It says, I don't think we got it that long ago, but this has probably been in my family for 40 years. And this one, Holly Leaves and Christmas Trees, I'll Be Home by Christmas, It Won't Seem Like Christmas Without You, Merry Christmas Baby. What a blues song, great blues song. And it's a 5-minute and 45-second version too. But those 3 records would just get played over and over and over at Christmas. I mean, Mom would play other things, but that meant it was Christmas time. Those 3 records. So they're tied at number 8. Number 7, this is not the actual version because we had it on CD. But Elvis Rockers, couldn't have been CD. I don't live at home. No, couldn't have been CD. We had to have it on record. This is not the actual record. I bought this not that long ago because I remember having it from a child. As a matter of fact, this thing is sealed. It's not open. But this is Elvis Rockers. I remember having this growing up when I was a young kid. And this just had his rocker songs on it. Jailhouse Rock, Blue Suede Shoes, Lottie, Miss Claudia, I Got a Woman, Money, Honey, Hound Dog. Those are all on there. So this is Elvis's Rockers. And yeah, this one again, been in my family, been in my life. Not this version, not this copy, but it's been around for a long time. Next up, again, 4 o'clock movie. They always played this one. This is probably my favorite Elvis movie, the GI Blues. Just such a great movie. And the song, Did You Ever? Just, you know, did you ever have one of those days? To this day, if I'm having one of those days, that song will come to my mind, and I will start singing, Did you ever? Did you ever get one? Yes, just so many memories of this one, and as you can see, it's got the wear and tear here and the wear and tear in the back. This is actually my record. I bought this record when I was a young boy, and this has been my personal possession probably 40 years plus. All right, what do we got next here? All right, this next one again is going to be a set. And if I get emotional on this one, well, I apologize. But let's see, where are we at here? We're at number 5. So this is number 5. And if you watched the video about my dad not that long ago, you'll know that we talked about this one. I got to sit in his final hours and listen to this record all the way through. And this is a great one too. This one is a great one. Josh, You Fit the Battle, Swing Down Sweet Chariot, Working on a Building. My grandma Dotson had both of these. And I'd go stay at her house, and she let me play records. Well, she only had gospel, Jimmy Swagger, and Elvis. That's pretty much it. It was all in the house. So I play a couple gospel records, and boring. Jimmy Swagger, he'd pop it up on some of his stuff. But man, you put the Elvis on, that was rock and roll. It was rock and roll, and they were singing about Jesus, and I just remember that. I just thought that was so cool. And then, you know, I didn't run into Larry Norman until probably 5-6 years later as a teenager when Dad brought it home one day. But this stuff right here, just life-changing music. You can see over my head here, I've got an orange Japanese version of this record. And I don't know what it's worth because I don't really find it online when I look it up. But I don't display a lot of my records, but I display that one. That one, I picked that one. That one hasn't been with me forever, but I was doing a pick, and I come across that, and I asked if I could have that. And they're like, yeah, well, who knows? Who knows what it's worth, if it's worth anything. I just know that it's cool because it's Japanese, it's orange, and it's his hand in mine. And these two records, just wow and wow. So that comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, this is my 4th favorite Elvis record ever of all time. You know what it is, don't you? That's right, Moody Blue. Now, did you know that the Blue album is not the collectible one, it's the black one? Why? Well, because he released the black album. It was Elvis's last album before he passed, and they had released it, and it was just a black album. They put it out there, and then he passes, and they pull him off the shelves as fast as they can, and they re-release it as a blue record as a commemorative, like, collector's item. So we have a blue one. This was bought that year, the year that Elvis passed, probably right after he passed. Still got the price tag sticker on it. You know, I just always loved Pledging My Love. What a love song. I always thought that was one of the greatest love songs ever. So when I'm like, you know, when he died, 77, so I'm 10, 11, 12 years old, I'm thinking, man, someday I want to love somebody enough to play that song for him, you know. And Way Down, still, it's just a good rocking disco song. I mean, that's Elvis's disco song, Way Down. Just, they could have remixed that one into like a 10-minute version, and they may have. I think they may have since then. But yeah, this one come out right when he passed. We bought it right when he passed, and my mom played the crap out of this one and probably cried a few tears listening to it. Again, Elvis was a big part of our family. So there you go. That one comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, Some Days, this is my favorite. Wearing That Love Down Look. That's just a great country cheating song. Only the Strong Survive. Good tune. I'll Hold You in My Heart. You hear the drums in there, they're starting the song over. Long Black Limousine. Oh, what a sad song. It's just what an awesome song. Keeps Right On Hurtin'. Again, I'm moving on. Power of My Love. And then this also has In the Ghetto on it. So, In the Ghetto is on this one. And just wow. Just wow. This is the version that's been in my family forever. We bought this at the record store. If you look at it, yeah, it's got some wear and tear on it. Elvis from Memphis, and it's a compilation. Most of these songs at this point in time, when this was released, had already been released. This says it was released in 1968. No, I think I'm wrong on it. I am wrong on that. This was actually in the ghetto, because that was like Elvis's last number one was in the ghetto. So that's what this was released off of. So I am wrong on that. You can look that up and verify. Put your comments down below and make me remember things that I've forgotten, because you know, that happens when the hair gets white. But yeah, Elvis in Memphis. This is just a fantastic record. As a teenage boy going through, you know, the heartbreaks of being a teenager, you could wear, you know, wearing that Love Dawn look, and I'll hold you in my heart. It keeps right on hurting. It gets you through those moments. Number two, coming in at number two. You heard a little bit of it as we started the show, playing in the background. Again, You Can Be Cool, but you ain't. Elvis in a black leather suit playing guitar, singing Hound Dog on a stage on national TV. Cool. Ain't nobody that cool. Only Elvis is that cool. Elvis is the 1968 TV special. I've got this in like 4 or 5 different copies. They had like 4 record sets of it with outtakes and different versions and stuff. But this is the one that we've owned since, well, a long time. You can see it's been split and taped, and the tape is dried up and split again. Man, I played this record out, wore it out through the years. Lottie, 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 Miss Claudia. And then we're going up, we're going down. just a great record. Seen the special every year it would come on. Not every year, but when they would replay it, because they did replay it a lot of years. They replayed it when after Elvis passed. They would replay it, and we'd always sit down and watch it. You know, before everything was on demand and you had YouTube, we'd always sit down and watch it and just enjoy it all over again. You know, it has Blue Christmas on it even, and it's just, even the gospel set, it's got a gospel set on it, you know. Where Can I Go To, Lord, Up Above My Head and Saved, is the gospel set, you know. So Elvis does gospel music on the live TV show. He does his rock and roll hits, and, you know, he does a little vaudeville stuff, and then he ends it with If I Can Dream, If I Can Dream. Yeah, this is just a fantastic album, and I put this one at number 2 on my top 10 Elvis albums that I own personally. All right, coming in at number 1. There's a story why. Elvis's Golden Records. Why is this record number 1 on my list? Take a look at that. You see the tape on it? See the tape right there? So, if you watch the Shock Jock channel here, it's all about the vinyl. We're talking about the vinyl. We're going down memory lane. We're giving you information on the records. We got the radio stations. We got the things that we do. We grew up listening to records. We DJ'd in bars, radio stations, clubs, roller rinks, you name it, private parties, weddings. We've done all that. Okay. Right here. First record. It's the first record I ever bought with my own money. I bought this actual copy. This, what I'm holding in my hand right here, is the actual copy of the record that I walked out of the record store with. First record I ever bought. So I go to the record store. I have a paper route. My mom takes me to Harmony House on 10 Mile and Hoover. And I remember it. It was in the strip mall at the time. Later years, they built a freestanding building out front, but it was in the strip mall. And we walk in there, and we're looking around, and I don't know what I want. You know, and I'm looking at K-Tel records because, well, it's got all the hits on it. And we'll do a K-Tel show one day because I have a lot of K-Tel records. And my mom, you know, being a good mother, she decides to influence my decision without letting me know that she's influencing my decision. She's like, well, look at all the good songs on this. Now, remember, Elvis has been with me since the day I was born. My grandparents, my great-grandparents, my parents all listen to Elvis. So every song on this record, Hound Dog, Loving You, All Shook Up, Heartbreak Hotel, Jailhouse Rock, Love Me, Too Much, Don't Be Cruel, Heartaches Begin, Teddy Bear, Love Me Tender, Treat Me Nice, Any Way You Want Me, I Want You, I Need You. Pretty much every song on this record I already knew. I already knew these songs, okay? I probably heard them a gazillion times at this point in my life. So Mom tells me, or influences me, or suggests that I buy this record. So I did. I bought this record. And I've had it ever since. So that's why this is number 1. It's not, I mean, it's a great record. It's got all his early hits, you know, all his golden records, all his early hits from the beginning of rock and roll. It's a historical record. The history aspect of it is just phenomenal. We could break each one of these songs down and talk about the release and where they charted. Pretty much every one of them went to number 1. You know, we talk about the records that he set and the way he changed society and the way he changed rock and roll and the way he changed the world. We talk about all those things all on this record, but it's number 1 to me because it's the first record I ever bought, and it was my mom's suggestion. So And it's this copy. It's this exact copy. Like I did wear it out. This thing is wore out, but I haven't went out and replaced it. Now I do have other copies. I think I got a brand new copy somewhere. But this is the one. I mean, the spline's busted. It's been taped and it's busted again. It busted through again. It's got the shelf wear on it. So everywhere that I've went in my life, the houses I've lived in, the places I've moved to, this has been with me. Going all the way back to probably 1976, 1977, 78 at the latest, because I had paper routes early. Like I've been working my whole life, you know, and I bought this with my own money at Harmony House in Detroit, Michigan, Warren, Michigan, with my mom on a Saturday. And there's some things I don't remember, but there's some things that happened in my mind just a couple minutes ago, and this is one of them. So this is my #1 favorite Elvis record of all time, and that's why. And thanks to my mom and dad for introducing me to Elvis and letting me hear him and playing it around the house all the time and rocking out to it, you know. And it's just, you know, he is the greatest of all time. Yes, a lot of his records have been broken, but it's been a lot of different people that have broken his records. He's had all of these records, you know, and you know, the Beatles were influenced by him. The Stones were influenced by him. Country music was influenced by him. He's the king of rock and roll. What more can be said? So we went to Graceland. Saw the Black Jacket Symphony. We've been to Graceland before. We've toured Graceland the house. We've toured the museum, seen his cars, done all the things. Took my folks there. Took my wife's folks there one time, which was really cool. My wife's mom has seen Elvis in concert and the Beatles in concert. Now, you know, that's a cool factor that not many of us could make a claim to either. And she's been fortunate enough to see them both, so how cool is that? But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for indulging me in my Elvis show. I got a little bit of my Elvis collectibles back here. Got the bobblehead, except it's not a bobblehead, it's a bobblehead. The pink Cadillac from Graceland, and the whiskey, the Elvis whiskey, unopened. I don't know if I'll ever open that or not. I bought it for a collectible more than anything. So before we go, I'm going to say cheers. And we're going to drink out of our Graceland sippy cup. Thanks for watching. It's the Shock Jock on the YouTube.